Welcome to Metropolitan Stadium. 97 Baltimore against 81 Minnesota. A battle of first place teams. Here's the kick from Stover. The kick from Stover is returned 13 yards by Peyton. Brown with the tackle. Kramer calls out the signals. Takes a 5-step drop. Kramer is sacked by BAL, loss of 8. 2nd and 18 at the 5. Kramer fades back to pass. Kramer checks down to censor. Kramer to censor, gain of 59, more on the tackle, first down. 1st and 10 at the 36. Kramer fades back to pass. Long slant. Kramer throws incomplete to White, Langham with the coverage. 2nd and 10 from the 36. The handoff to Brown. 5-yard run by Brown, McCrary on the tackle. 3rd and 5. Kramer sets to throw. Medium out to Brown. Kramer completes the pass to Brown, gain of 7, Jones on the tackle, first down. Kramer drops back to pass. Short sideline pass to Young. Kramer throws incomplete to Young, Lewis on the coverage. I formation. Kramer hands to Brown. Brown on the carry, gain of 5, Lewis on the stop. 3rd and 5 at the 19. Kramer with a quick drop. Short outside pass to censor. Kramer passes to censor, incomplete, more with the coverage. 26-yard attempt for Denmier. This will give them the lead. Clean snap from Hoff. Denmier is good from 26 yards, 81 Minnesota 3, 97 Baltimore 0, Denmier with the kick. First and 10 from the 30. Morris with the handoff. Morris with a 4-yard run, Knopf on the tackle. 97 Baltimore breaks the huddle. 2nd and 6 from the 34. Pitch right to Graham. Graham lost 6 on the play, Studwell on the tackle. 3rd and 12 from the 28. Shotgun. Prevent defense. Testaverde back to pass. Medium hitch. Testaverde throws incomplete to Jackson. Montgomery from punt formation. A 45-yard punt by Montgomery, fair catch by Peyton. Kramer drops back to pass. Medium out to Young. Kramer passes to Young, 14-yard gain, Sharper on the tackle, first down. Kramer to throw. Kramer checks down to Brown. Kramer passes to Brown, incomplete, Jones on the coverage. Kramer with a quick drop. Short sideline pass to censor. Kramer with the pass to censor, gain of 10, more with the tackle, first down. 1st and 10 from the 49. Young takes the handoff. Young on the carry, 1-yard gain, Jones with the tackle. 81 Minnesota breaks the huddle. Kramer fades back to pass. Short out to White. Kramer completes the pass to White, gain of 8, Langham with the tackle. 3rd and 1. I formation. Kramer at the line. Kramer shovels it to Brown. Brown on the sweep, gain of 1, Lewis on the tackle, first down. Kramer with the give to Brown. 2-yard run by Brown, Jones on the tackle. Kramer fades back to pass. Short in. Kramer completes the pass to White, gain of 8, Langham on the tackle, first down. 1st and 10. Kramer is back to pass. Medium cross. Kramer completes the pass to Rashad, gain of 17, Jenkins on the tackle, first down. Kramer at the line. Current drive, 9 plays, 61 yards. 4:10 off the clock. Busted play. Kramer lost 2 on the play, Bauer on the tackle. Kramer sets up in the pocket. Kramer throws to Brown. Kramer throws incomplete to Brown. 3rd and 12. Kramer calls out the signals. Kramer sets up in the pocket. Short cross. Kramer completes the pass to Rashad, touchdown 81 Minnesota. Denmier will try the point after. The kick by Denmier is good, 81 Minnesota 10, 97 Baltimore 0. The kick from Denmier is downed by Lewis. First and 10 from the 35. Graham with the handoff. Graham with a 4-yard run, Seaman with the tackle. 2nd and 6 at the 39. Pitch right to Graham. Graham on the carry, gain of 2, Martin on the tackle. 3rd and 4. Testaverde with a short drop. Short sideline pass to Alexander. Testaverde to Alexander, incomplete, Teal on the coverage. Montgomery to punt. A 45-yard punt by Montgomery, 12-yard return by Payton. 1st and 10 from the 26. Kramer at the line. Give to Redwine. Redwine with a 2-yard run, Bauer on the tackle. Kramer gives to Brown. Brown on the carry, 1-yard gain, Jones on the tackle. 3rd and 7 from the 29. Kramer drops back to pass. Medium fly to Rashad. Kramer to Rashad, incomplete, Jenkins on the coverage. Coleman deep in punt formation. A 42-yard punt by Coleman, out of bounds. Testaverde yelling out the signals. Back to pass. Testaverde is sacked by White. Flag on the field.
Illegal motion, offense, number 33, 5-yard penalty.
2nd and 17 from the 22. Graham lines up outside. Testaverde drops back to pass. Medium slant to Green. Testaverde throws incomplete to Green. 3rd and 17. Shotgun. Testaverde fades back to pass. Long slant to Lewis. Testaverde to Lewis, gain of 17, Swain on the tackle, first down. 97 Baltimore breaks the huddle. Testaverde back to pass. Medium hitch to Morris. Testaverde with the pass to Morris, 11-yard gain, Blair on the tackle, first down. Testaverde at the line. Graham with the handoff. Graham with the carry, no gain, Martin on the tackle. 2nd and 10 from the 50. Transfers control to Morris. Morris on the carry, gain of 5, Mullaney on the tackle. 3rd and 5. Testaverde drops back to pass. Medium flat. Testaverde throws incomplete to Green, Hannon on the coverage.
Pass interference, defense. Number 45. Automatic, first down.
Testaverde with a short drop. Short cross to Alexander. Testaverde to Alexander, gain of 10, Teal on the tackle. Morris with the handoff. Morris with a gain of 1 on the play, Blair on the tackle, first down. 1st and 10 at the 21. Current drive, 9 plays, 50 yards. 4:27 off the clock. Morris with the handoff. Morris on the carry, gain of 3, Blair on the tackle. 2nd and 7 from the 18. Current drive, 10 plays, 53 yards. They've used 5:09 on the clock. Testaverde with a quick drop. Short hitch. Testaverde completes the pass to Jackson, gain of 8, Turner on the tackle, first down. Current drive, 11 plays, 61 yards. 5:49 off the clock. Testaverde gives to Graham. Graham with the carry, gain of 2, Knopf on the tackle. End of the first quarter, 81 Minnesota 10, 97 Baltimore 0. 2nd and goal at the 8. Testaverde back to pass. Testaverde throws to Green. Testaverde passes to Green, touchdown 97 Baltimore. Stover will try the point after. Stover makes the extra point, 81 Minnesota 10, 97 Baltimore 7. Here's the kick from Stover. The kick from Stover is returned 9 yards by Nord, Brown on the tackle. Draw to Brown. 7-yard gain by Brown, Webster on the tackle. 2nd and 3 from the 19. Kramer with the give to Brown. Brown the ball carrier, gain of 6, Webster on the tackle, first down. Kramer fades back to pass. Medium slant to Rashad. Kramer completes the pass to Rashad, gain of 15, Jenkins with the tackle, first down. Kramer fades back to pass. Medium crossing pattern to Sensor. Kramer completes the pass to Sensor, gain of 16, Moore on the tackle, first down. Kramer calls out the signals. Running right. Brown on the carry, gain of 7, Sharper on the stop. Kramer calls out the signals. Kramer fades back to pass. Short hitch to Brown. Kramer with the pass to Brown, gain of 8, Jones with the tackle, first down. Kramer calls out the signals. Kramer sets up in the pocket. He passes to Redline. Kramer completes the pass to Redline, gain of 6, Jones on the tackle. 2nd and 4 from the 23. Hand off to Brown. Brown on the draw, gain of 2, Bauer on the tackle. 3rd and 2. Kramer drops back to pass. Short slant. Kramer passes to Rashad, 11-yard gain, Daniel on the tackle, first down. 9 play 78-yard drive. 6:20 off the clock. Kramer gives to red line. 3-yard run by red line, Frederick on the tackle. Second and goal. Current drive, 10 plays, 81 yards. 6:59 off the clock. Kramer with the handoff to Brown. Brown with the carry, touchdown 81 Minnesota. Denmier will try the point after. The conversion failed, 81 Minnesota 16, 97 Baltimore 7. The kick from Denmier is downed by Lewis. First and 10 at the 35. Testaverde calling signals. Testaverde fades back to pass. Long flot. Testaverde throws incomplete to Jackson. Testaverde hands to Graham. Graham on the carry, 3-yard gain, McNeil on the tackle. 3rd and 7. Morris takes the handoff. 5-yard run by Morris, Blair on the tackle. Montgomery to punt. A 44-yard punt by Montgomery, return of 7 by Payton. Kramer calls the signals. He fades back to pass. Kramer dumps it to Brown. Kramer to Brown, gain of 4, Jones on the tackle. Kramer fades back to pass. Long crossing pattern. Kramer passes to a shot, 49-yard gain, Moore on the stop, first down. Hand off to Brown. Brown with the carry, gain of 2, flag on the play.
Holding, offense. Number 28, 15-yard penalty.
Kramer fades back to pass. He throws underneath to Galbraith. Kramer to Galbraith, incomplete. Kramer takes a deep drop. Medium in. Kramer throws incomplete to White. 3rd and 25 from the 42. Kramer fades back to pass. Long outside pass to LeCount. Kramer throws incomplete to LeCount. Coleman back in punt formation. Lewis waiting inside his own 10. A 32-yard punt by Coleman, out of bounds. Testaverde with a quick drop. Short pass to Morris. Testaverde to Morris, incomplete, McNeil with the coverage. 97 Baltimore down 9. 2nd and 10 from the 10. Testaverde calls out the signals. Testaverde fades back to pass. Medium curl. Testaverde throws incomplete to Green, Hannon on the coverage. 3rd and 10. Testaverde drops back to pass. Medium crossing pattern to Alexander. Testaverde completes the pass to Alexander, gain of 18, Teal on the tackle, first down. Morris with the handoff. Morris on the carry, no gain, Seaman on the tackle. Testaverde fades back to pass. Testaverde throws to Green. Testaverde completes the pass to Green, gain of 3, Hannon on the tackle. 3rd and 7. Testaverde gives to Morris. Morris on the carry, 4-yard gain, Blair on the tackle. Montgomery to punt. "48-yard punt by Montgomery, 8-yard return by Payton. Kramer at the line. Kramer sets to throw. Kramer checks down to Galbraith. Kramer completes the pass to Galbraith, gain of 9, Lewis on the tackle. 2nd and 1 at the 34. Kramer is back to pass. Medium slant to White. Kramer to White, 18-yard gain, Langham with the tackle, 1st down. Kramer back to pass. Kramer dumps it to red line. Kramer to red line, incomplete, Bauer on the coverage. 2nd and 10 from the 48. Kramer calling signals. Drops back to pass. Medium button hook. Kramer completes the pass to Young, 22-yard gain, Jones on the tackle, 1st down. Kramer drops back to pass. He passes to Galbraith. Kramer throws incomplete to Galbraith, Lewis on the coverage. 2nd and 10. Kramer yelling out the signals. Kramer sets up in the pocket. Kramer dumps it to Rashad. Kramer completes the pass to Rashad, gain of 11, Daniel on the tackle, 1st down. Kramer takes a deep drop. Medium crossing pass to White. Kramer throws incomplete to White, Langham with the coverage. Kramer sets up in the pocket. Kramer throws underneath to red line. Kramer to red line, 9-yard gain, Sharper on the tackle. 3rd and 1 from the 6. Kramer hands to Galbraith. Galbraith with the carry, gain of 2, Frederick on the tackle, 1st down. Kramer back to pass. Kramer is sacked by Webster, loss of 4. 2nd and goal. Kramer with a short drop. Short outside pass to Brown. Kramer passes to Brown, incomplete, Jones on the coverage. 3rd and goal from the 8. 11 play 67-yard drive. 4:16 off the clock. Kramer fades back to pass. Kramer throws to Young. Kramer is intercepted by Daniel, return of 0. Penalty on the play.
Encroachment, defense. Number 65, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 1st down.
Knopf in the box. Testaverde fades back to pass. Medium flat. Testaverde throws incomplete to Alexander, flag on the field.
Holding, offense. Number 77.
Trips right. Takes a 5-step drop. Medium slant. Testaverde passes to Lewis, gain of 9, Swain on the tackle. 2nd and 9 from the 21. Hurry up offense. Testaverde drops back to pass. Short outside pass. Testaverde to Lewis, incomplete. 97 Baltimore breaks the huddle. 3rd and 9. Shotgun. Testaverde fades back to pass. Testaverde is sacked by Stetler. Penalty flag.
Holding, offense. Number 65.
Montgomery to punt. "48-yard punt by Montgomery, 7-yard return by Payton. Kramer fades back to pass. Short outside pass to Rashad. Kramer to Rashad, gain of 13, Jenkins with the tackle, first down. Kramer with 3-step drop. Short out to Brown. Kramer with the pass to Brown, 6-yard gain, Jones on the stop. 2nd and 4 from the 35. Kramer is back to pass. Medium sideline pass to White. Kramer completes the pass to White, gain of 12, Langham on the stop, first down. Kramer sets to throw. Kramer checks down to red line. Kramer to red line, incomplete, Lewis on the coverage. Shotgun. Kramer drops back to pass. Pass to Young. Kramer to Young, gain of 17, penalty on the play.
Holding, offense. Number 61, 15-yard penalty.
Kramer sets up in the pocket. Medium out pass to Rashad. Kramer completes the pass to Rashad, touchdown 81 Minnesota. Denmier will try the point after. The kick by Denmier is good, 81 Minnesota 23, 97 Baltimore 7. Denmier boots it. The kick from Denmier is returned 30 yards by Lewis, Johnson on the tackle. Testaverde sets to throw. Short hitch. Testaverde completes the pass to Lewis, gain of 7, Swain with the tackle. 97 Baltimore in a hurry up. Testaverde fades back to pass. Testaverde checks down to Alexander. Testaverde throws incomplete to Alexander, Teal on the coverage. 3rd and 3. Testaverde sets to throw. Short out pass to Lewis. Testaverde completes the pass to Lewis, gain of 4, Swain on the tackle, first down. Testaverde back to pass. He throws to Morris. Testaverde to Morris, incomplete. 97 Baltimore down 16. Trips left. Testaverde fades back to pass. Long outside pass to Lewis. Testaverde with the pass to Lewis, incomplete, Swain on the coverage. 3rd and 10. Shotgun. Testaverde fades back to pass. He dumps it to Morris. Testaverde to Morris, incomplete, penalty on the play.
Holding, offense. Number 69, 15-yard penalty.
Montgomery to punt. "52-yard punt by Montgomery, return of 10 by Payton. 1st and 10 from the 14. Kramer is back to pass. Medium hitch to White. Kramer completes the pass to White, gain of 16, Langham on the tackle, first down. Kramer is back to pass. Long into Rashad. Kramer throws incomplete to Rashad. Second and 10. Kramer calls the signals. Kramer with 3-step drop. Short out pass to Sensor. Kramer completes the pass to Sensor, gain of 11, more on the stop, first down. 81 Minnesota up 16. First and 10. Kramer fades back to pass. Kramer heaves it downfield. Kramer to Brown, incomplete, end of the first half, 81 Minnesota 23, 97 Baltimore 7. The kick from Denmier is downed by Lewis. Testaverde at the line. He fades back to pass. Medium hitch to Lewis. Testaverde throws incomplete to Lewis, Swain on the coverage. From the shotgun. Testaverde fades back to pass. Testaverde passes to Yarbrough. Fumble. Testaverde to Yarbrough. Penalty on the play.
Holding, offense. Number 69, 15-yard penalty.
Kramer sets up in the pocket. Medium cross to Rashad. Kramer to Rashad, incomplete, Jenkins with the coverage. Kramer drops back to pass. Short button hook to Brown. Kramer passes to Brown, incomplete, Jones with the coverage. Third and 10 at the 47. Kramer is back to pass. Kramer throws underneath to Sensor. Kramer completes the pass to Sensor, 11-yard gain, more on the tackle, first down. First and 10 at the 36. Kramer gives to Redwine. Fumble. Redwine the ball carrier, no gain, fumble recovered by Bauer, 97 Baltimore ball. Testaverde calls out the signals. Testaverde is back to pass. Long curl. Testaverde completes the pass to Lewis, gain of 30, Knopf on the tackle, first down. Morris takes the handoff. Morris on the carry, gain of 4, Knopf on the tackle. Testaverde from the shotgun. Testaverde fades back to pass. Long out to Lewis. Testaverde passes to Lewis, incomplete, Swain with the coverage.
Pass interference, defense. Number 29, automatic, first down.
97 Baltimore trailing by 16. First and 10. Testaverde calling signals. Busted play. Testaverde lost 4 on the play, Mulaney on the tackle. Second and 14 from the 20. Testaverde back to pass. Testaverde dumps it to Morris. Testaverde completes the pass to Morris, 9-yard gain, Studwell on the tackle. Third and 5. Testaverde fades back to pass. Short slant to Alexander. Testaverde throws incomplete to Alexander, Teal on the coverage. 18-yard attempt for Stover. Clean snap from Williams. Stover is good from 18, 81 Minnesota 23, 97 Baltimore 10. The kick from Stover. Kramer fades back to pass. Short slant to Rashad. Kramer passes to Rashad, incomplete, Jenkins on the coverage. 81 Minnesota breaks the huddle. Red Wine with the handoff. Red Wine running room. Red Wine with a gain of 11 on the play. Lewis on the tackle, first down. Kramer hands to Brown. Brown the ball carrier, 1-yard gain, Washington with the tackle. 2nd and 9 at the 42. Kramer takes a deep drop. Medium into Rashad. Kramer completes the pass to Rashad, gain of 18, Jenkins on the tackle, first down. Give to Red Wine. 2-yard run by Red Wine, Frederick on the tackle. Kramer fades back to pass. Medium out. Kramer throws incomplete to Brown. 3rd and 8 from the 38. Kramer sets up in the pocket. Medium hitch to Young. Kramer completes the pass to Young, gain of 22, Moore on the tackle, first down. Kramer drops back to pass. He throws underneath to Sensor. Kramer completes the pass to Sensor, 10-yard gain, Moore on the tackle. Goal line defense. Kramer with the give to Brown. Brown the ball carrier, touchdown 81 Minnesota. Danmier will try the point after. Danmier converts the extra point, 81 Minnesota 30, 97 Baltimore 10. Here's the kick from Danmier. The kick from Danmier is returned 19 yards by Lewis, Johnson on the tackle. Alexander faces a double at the line. Testaverde fades back to pass. Long slant. Testaverde passes to Lewis, incomplete, Swain on the coverage. 2nd and 10. Testaverde barks out the signals. Testaverde sets up in the pocket. Testaverde will run. Testaverde on the carry, gain of 8, Martin with the tackle. 3rd and 2 at the 29. Shotgun formation. Alexander is doubled at the line. Testaverde fades back to pass. Short hitch to Yarborough. Testaverde throws incomplete to Yarborough, Hannon on the coverage. Montgomery to punt. "43-yard punt by Montgomery, 11-yard return by Payton. 81 Minnesota ahead by 20. Kramer with a short drop. Short crossing pass to Rashad. Kramer passes to Rashad, incomplete, Jenkins on the coverage. Kramer at the line. Kramer pitches left to Brown. 12-yard run by Brown, Moore on the stop, first down. 1st and 10. From the I. Kramer glides back to pass. Long into Rashad. Kramer to Rashad, incomplete, Jenkins on the coverage. 81 Minnesota breaks the huddle. 2nd and 10 from the 49. Kramer fades back to pass. Kramer passes to Young. Kramer completes the pass to Young, gain of 6, Lewis on the tackle. 81 Minnesota up 20. 3rd and 4 at the 43. Kramer calls the signals. Young on the draw. Young on the draw, 11-yard gain, Moore on the tackle, first down. Kramer calls the signals. Brown with the handoff. Brown the ball carrier, loss of 1, Frederick on the tackle. 81 Minnesota by 20. Kramer drops back to pass. He dumps it to Young. Kramer to Young, gain of 13, Lewis with the tackle, first down. Kramer with the 7-step drop. Long outside pass to Rashad. Kramer completes the pass to Rashad. Touchdown 81 Minnesota. Denmie will try the point after. Denmie makes the extra point, 81 Minnesota 37, 97 Baltimore 10. Here's the kick from Denmie. The kick from Denmie is returned 13 yards by Lewis, Johnson on the tackle. Testaverde from the shotgun. Sets to throw. Short hitch. Testaverde passes to Morris, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Testaverde barks out the signals. Back to pass. Medium crossing pass to Yarborough. Testaverde to Yarborough, gain of 9, Hannon on the tackle. 3rd and 1 from the 30. Testaverde drops back to pass. Medium into Lewis. Testaverde to Lewis, gain of 14, Swain on the tackle, first down. Testaverde back to pass. Medium crossing pattern to Alexander. Testaverde completes the pass to Alexander, gain of 17, Teal with the tackle, first down. 97 Baltimore trailing by 27. Testaverde barks out the signals. He fades back to pass. Short out pass to Lewis. Testaverde throws incomplete to Lewis. 97 Baltimore trailing by 27. 2nd and 10 at the 39. Testaverde back to pass. Medium curl. Testaverde throws incomplete to Lewis, Swain on the coverage. 3rd and 10. Morris split outside. Testaverde drops back to pass. Testaverde checks down to Morris. Testaverde throws incomplete to Morris, Studwell on the coverage. Montgomery to punt. A 34-yard punt by Montgomery, out of bounds. 81 Minnesota by 27. They're looking for Brown. Takes a 5-step drop. Medium into Rashad. Kramer passes to Rashad, incomplete, Jenkins on the coverage. Kramer fades back to pass. Medium hitch. Kramer throws incomplete to Young, Lewis on the coverage. 81 Minnesota leads by 27. 3rd and 10. 3:19 left in the 3rd. Kramer back to pass. Medium cross. Kramer throws incomplete to Rashad. Coleman back to punt. From his own end zone. A 44-yard punt by Coleman, return of 13 by Lewis. Testaverde brings them to the line. 1st and 10. The hand off to Morris. Morris on the carry, gain of 2, Knopf on the tackle. Shotgun formation. Testaverde drops back to pass. Long fly. Testaverde throws incomplete to Alexander, Teal on the coverage. 3rd and 8 from the 34. Alexander is doubled at the line. Testaverde fades back to pass. Testaverde throws underneath to Yarbrough. Testaverde completes the pass to Yarbrough, gain of 9, Hannon with the tackle, 1st down. Testaverde fades back to pass. Long hitch. Testaverde throws incomplete to Lewis, Swain on the coverage. Testaverde fades back to pass. Medium in. Testaverde completes the pass to Lewis, penalty on the play.
Holding, offense. Number 69, 15-yard penalty.
Testaverde drops back to pass. Short out to Lewis. Testaverde to Lewis, gain of 13, Knopf on the tackle. 3rd and 12 at the 27. Morris split wide. Testaverde fades back to pass. Medium hitch to Lewis. Testaverde passes to Lewis, gain of 9, Swain on the tackle. End of the 3rd quarter, 81 Minnesota 37, 97 Baltimore 10. 97 Baltimore down 27. 4th and 3. Testaverde at the line. Testaverde is back to pass. He fires into a tight window to Lewis. Testaverde with the pass to Lewis, 10-yard gain, Swain on the tackle, 1st down. 1st and goal. Testaverde fades back to pass. Testaverde throws to Alexander. Testaverde throws incomplete to Alexander. Testaverde fades back to pass. Testaverde throws to Lewis. Testaverde completes the pass to Lewis, touchdown 97 Baltimore. Stover will try the point after. Stover makes the extra point, 81 Minnesota 37, 97 Baltimore 17. Here's the kick from Stover. The kick from Stover is returned 20 yards by Payton, Brady on the stop. Kramer is back to pass. Kramer to Rashad against Jenkins. Kramer to Rashad, incomplete, Jenkins on the coverage. Kramer fades back to pass. Kramer is off and running. Kramer on the carry, 2-yard gain, Webster on the tackle. 81 Minnesota by 20. 3rd and 8. Kramer slow to the line. Drops back to pass. Kramer throws underneath to Leakout. Kramer with the pass to Leakout, gain of 4, Jenkins on the tackle. Coleman deep in punt formation. A 58-yard punt by Coleman, return of 17 by Lewis. 1st and 10 from the 29. Testaverde is back to pass. Medium cross to Lewis. Testaverde throws incomplete to Lewis, Swain on the coverage. 97 Baltimore trailing by 20. 2nd and 10 from the 29. Takes a 5-step drop. Medium into Lewis. Testaverde passes to Lewis, gain of 18, Swain on the stop, first down. Testaverde at the line. Testaverde fades back to pass. Short outside pass to Morris. Testaverde throws incomplete to Morris, Studwell on the coverage. 2nd and 10 from the 47. Doubling Alexander at the line. Takes a 5-step drop. Medium slant to Lewis. Testaverde with the pass to Lewis, incomplete, Swain on the coverage. 3rd and 10. Shotgun formation. Testaverde fades back to pass. Short hitch to Alexander. Testaverde completes the pass to Alexander, gain of 9, Teal on the tackle. 97 Baltimore down by 20. 4th and 1 from the 44. Knopf up in the box. The handoff to Morris. Morris with a 1-yard run, Hannon on the tackle, first down. Testaverde fades back to pass. Medium slant. Testaverde passes to Lewis, incomplete, Swain on the coverage. Testaverde is back to pass. Short out pass. Testaverde completes the pass to Morris, gain of 12, Hannon on the tackle, first down. 1st and 10. Morris with the handoff. Morris on the carry, gain of 14, Blair on the tackle, first down. 1st and 10. Testaverde fades back to pass. He dumps it to Morris. Testaverde completes the pass to Morris, gain of 10, Hannon with the tackle. 2nd and inches from the 7. Testaverde hands to Morris. Morris with the carry, loss of 2, Yakovenis on the tackle. 3rd and 2 from the 9. Testaverde fades back to pass. Short sideline pass. Testaverde with the pass to Lewis, 5-yard gain, Swain on the tackle, first down. 1st and goal from the 4. Pitch right to Graham. Graham on the carry, no gain, Holloway on the tackle. Current drive, 13 plays, 67 yards. 5:34 off the clock. Pitch right to Graham. Graham lost 2 on the play, Yakovenis on the tackle. 3rd and goal from the 6. Testaverde fades back to pass. Short cross. Testaverde with the pass to Alexander, incomplete, Teal with the coverage. 13-yard attempt for Stover. This is a chip shot. The snap from Williams. Stover missed from 13. Kramer drops back to pass. Short slant to Rashad. Kramer passes to Rashad, incomplete, Jenkins on the coverage. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Kramer drops back to pass. Short hitch to Brown. Kramer to Brown, gain of 11, Jones on the tackle, first down. 81 Minnesota in no hurry. They're looking for Brown. Kramer drops back to pass. Kramer dumps it to Brown. Kramer to Brown, gain of 10, Jones on the stop, first down. 1st and 10 from the 41. They're in a slow down. Kramer drops back to pass. Short slant to Sensor. Kramer throws incomplete to Sensor, Moore on the coverage. Redwine with the ball now. Red Wine on the carry, 4-yard gain, Webster on the tackle. 3rd and 6. Kramer taking his time. Kramer calling signals. Kramer pitches left to Brown. Brown on the pitch, no gain, Lewis on the tackle. Coleman from punt formation. Lewis standing inside his own 10. "48-yard punt by Coleman, out of bounds. 1st and 10 at the 7th. Testaverde at the line. He fades back to pass. Long crossing pattern to Lewis. Testaverde to Lewis, gain of 19, Swain on the stop, 1st down. 97 Baltimore hustling to the line. Testaverde with a short drop. Short slant to Lewis. Testaverde completes the pass to Lewis, 5-yard gain, Swain with the tackle. 97 Baltimore hustling to the line. Testaverde drops back to pass. Testaverde throws downfield to Alexander. Testaverde throws incomplete to Alexander, Teal on the coverage. 3rd and 5 from the 31. Shotgun formation. Jackson is doubled at the line. Testaverde drops back to pass. Short hitch to Jackson. Testaverde completes the pass to Jackson, gain of 3, Turner on the tackle. Montgomery back to punt. "42-yard punt by Montgomery, 9-yard return by Payton. The handoff to Young. Young with a gain of 3 on the play, Jones on the tackle.
Personal foul, offense. Number 78, 15-yard penalty.
1st and 25 at the 18. Kramer with a short drop. Short out to Young. Kramer with the pass to Young, gain of 18, Lewis on the tackle. Kramer taking his time. He sets to throw. Short cross. Kramer completes the pass to Sensor, gain of 9, Moore on the stop, 1st down. 1st and 10. 81 Minnesota taking their time. Kramer at the line. Young takes the handoff. Young with a gain of 2 on the play, Siragusa on the stop. 81 Minnesota working slowly. Takes a 5-step drop. Kramer to Rashad. Kramer passes to Rashad, incomplete, Jenkins with the coverage. 3rd and 8 from the 47. Kramer at the line. The give to Brown. Brown with a gain of 3 on the play, Burnett on the tackle. Coleman from punt formation. Lewis waiting inside his own 10. "42-yard punt by Coleman, fair catch by Lewis. Shotgun. Testaverde drops back to pass. Long sideline pass. Testaverde passes to Lewis, incomplete, Swain on the coverage. 2nd and 10. Testaverde fades back to pass. Long sideline pass. Testaverde passes to Jackson, gain of 24, Turner on the tackle, 1st down. Testaverde fades back to pass. Testaverde dumps it to Jackson. Testaverde completes the pass to Jackson, 5-yard gain, Turner with the tackle. 2nd and 5. Testaverde takes a deep drop. Testaverde throws to Morris. Testaverde throws incomplete to Morris. 3rd and 5 from the 37. Testaverde fades back to pass. Testaverde checks down to Morris. Testaverde completes the pass to Morris, 7-yard gain, Blair on the tackle, 1st down. 97 Baltimore hustling to the line. Testaverde fades back to pass. Long out to Lewis. Testaverde throws incomplete to Lewis. Testaverde drops back to pass. Medium slant to Yarbrough. Testaverde throws incomplete to Yarbrough, Hannon on the coverage. 3rd and 10 at the 44. Testaverde fades back to pass. Medium sideline pass. Testaverde passes to Alexander, gain of 9, Teal with the tackle. 4th and 1. 8-play 45-yard drive. 1:11 off the clock. Testaverde fades back to pass. Medium cross to Alexander. Testaverde to Alexander, gain of 9, Teal on the tackle, 1st down. 97 Baltimore hustling to the line. 9-play 54-yard drive. 1:28 off the clock. Testaverde back to pass. Long out to Lewis. Testaverde completes the pass to Lewis, 15-yard gain, Studwell on the tackle, 1st down. 97 Baltimore down by 20. Current drive, 10 plays, 69 yards. 1:35 off the clock. Testaverde is back to pass. Long out. Testaverde to Yarbrough, incomplete, Hannon on the coverage. 97 Baltimore trailing by 20. Testaverde fades back to pass. Medium out to Jackson. Testaverde throws incomplete to Jackson, penalty on the play. '97 Baltimore down 20. 3rd and 10. 1:16 in the 4th. Testaverde fades back to pass. Long sideline pass to Lewis. Testaverde completes the pass to Lewis, gain of 15, Nord on the tackle, 1st down. 97 Baltimore down by 20. 1st and goal at the 8. 1:08 left in the game. Testaverde is back to pass. Testaverde fires downfield to Alexander. Testaverde throws incomplete to Alexander, Teal on the coverage. 97 Baltimore trailing by 20. Current drive, 14 plays, 84 yards. They've used 2:01 on the clock. Testaverde drops back to pass. Medium sideline pass to Rowe. Testaverde throws incomplete to Rowe, Swain on the coverage. 97 Baltimore trailing by 20. 3rd and goal. 0:56 in the 4th. Current drive, 15 plays, 84 yards. 2:07 off the clock. Testaverde sets to throw. Short cross. Testaverde to Alexander, touchdown 97 Baltimore. Stover will try the point after. The kick by Stover is no good, 81 Minnesota 37, 97 Baltimore 23. The kick from Stover is downed by Payton. Kramer will go to a knee. Kramer will take a knee. 81 Minnesota 37, 97 Baltimore 23.